Welcome to the Locals, episode 2. Today I have with me my friend. She from Des Moines to LA, came back home, and is now at your front porch. This is Samantha Cunningham.
Hi, everyone.
She is the owner of Front Porch Collective, and I just wanted you to hear her story because it's not like a prodigal son type story, but it's kind of a cool story. She, going to LA and learning a lot there, doing a lot there, having a very, I think, successful career there, but just something brought you home. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks. It's great to be here.
So what's going on with you? What brings you back? Like, what brought you back home?
Yeah, so I'm originally from here. I went to Valley, went to University of Iowa. We know you, Iowa State.
Hey, it's a Cyclone today now.
You guys had a good game
Yep,
last night.
Yep.
That's sad. Anyways, and so yeah, I've lived kind of all over. I originally left Iowa City in 2007, and I went to Charlotte and down to Florida. I lived in Las Vegas for a little bit, and then lived in LA. So I moved actually last year from LA to Iowa. I came back, and I just wanted to feel at home. I have family here. Well, I have like extended family here. My little sister is still in San Francisco. My dad is in LA still. But we have just our roots are here. I had been kind of all over for my career, and yeah, I did well, and I loved it. And there's so much in between that. I'm sober now, but there was a lot of partying involved, and I just wanted to feel kind of at home. I wasn't really like looking forward to the weather, I forgot. I mean, everything, the first, winter was so beautiful. I was like, oh my gosh, snow. Oh my gosh. Like when it was
It's
spring.
not so bad. Yeah.
Now I'm like, oh gosh, it's snow. But yeah, so I mean, I came home, and I have my mother, she passed away. And so her legacy, she worked at Seasonal Concepts. I mean, it's not like it was a, brick and mortar store next to Best Buy in Clive, but she did a lot of seasonal decorating and designing. And so I kind of opened up my own company, Front Porch Collective. And with that, I get to help bring people's front porches to life. It's beautiful. And the fall was I did pumpkin decorating, and that was really cool. And you've helped me, and I just want to thank you so much for your service too, and just welcoming me back. And that it feels good to be back here and just having like the warm welcome. That's like so heartfelt, and that's like what reminds me of why I came back.
I ran into someone the other day that, it was the first time I met them. They were from New Jersey, and they moved here like 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. And they go, don't tell anybody else about Iowa. Mm-hmm. They're like, because we love it here. We don't want people to know about Iowa because, like traffic in LA is a lot different than traffic here, but traffic's getting to be a problem here.
It's still like rush minute, like it's not rush hour.
Rush hour, but it's,
you still can get anywhere in 20-ish minutes.
But it used to be like 10.
Yeah, right.
But
right.
But we also didn't used to have everything, either. Yeah. And so I think your story is really interesting. It's you've always struck me as like somebody who's gonna you have that entrepreneurial spirit. Somebody that you go away to chase that dream. Become the executive, become the person that super successful, and so it's cool to have you back, like in Iowa, home. And what was I've never been to LA, so like what? And it's funny because when I had Bradford on here, he had kind of a similar journey where he wanted to leave Iowa, went to LA, partied, did all that stuff, and he didn't necessarily come back because he wanted to, but he's glad he's back. What's that life like there? What was your job like there?
So I've always been an executive recruiter and headhunter, and so I actually ended up moving to I was still living in Las Vegas, and I got a job with a startup, and the startup had an office in Beverly Hills, and so I'd split my time between Las Vegas and Beverly Hills, and so that lifestyle was crazy. I mean, it was just.
Did you see a lot of celebrities on a pretty daily basis?
Yeah, and so the suburbs where my dad lives and where I spent the last 2 years before I left was a suburb called Calabasas, which is like where the Kardashians are from. So you would see them, but I mean, there was a lot of people that you just would be like at your local sushi joint, you'd just like, oh, there's Taiga, It was kind of interesting. It was weird.
It wasn't like you were like, oh my gosh. It kind of got to like.
No, I was like, oh my gosh, still, but I had to keep it cool, but you get these experiences where you're like, oh my gosh, this is just like out of a movie. Like some of the parties you would go to, or just some of the experiences, you're like, this isn't. I'm just a girl from Iowa, But it was beautiful. The people are not like Iowa, so that's another reason. Like I just, I'm not married. I haven't been married. So I was like, if I am going to get married, I'd rather it be with a good, wholesome person, probably from the Midwest. And so that's kind of another reason. I've
heard that too. Like people in New York and like the East Coast too. Like it's a similar thing. Like, hey, you don't really get married till you're in your 30s and your 40s. Like it's kind of like almost like a cultural thing.
And I was very career driven and very like just. And then I think like also my recovery was, I mean, it still is strong, but just the recovery scene out there, it's like the mecca of treatment centers. So there is really strong recovery, and a lot of people get sober out there. Obviously it's heavily populated, but the beach towns and everything. So I lived just like 10, 15 minutes over the hill from Malibu.
You got sober in LA?
I did.
I mean, what kind of drove you to that? Like, was it just the constant partying, or I mean, was it like, hey, like this is getting in the way of work? Was it health? Like all of it? Like
all of it? Yeah, it just came to. It was just too much. I mean, I was just partying nonstop, and it's not like I, of course, I didn't think I had a problem, but my family definitely, caught on to it, and then they had an intervention. One day I remember my aunt flew in, and I was like, oh no, it's coming. I saw it. And my sister flew in from San Francisco, and they literally sat me to my dad, and they sat me down, and were like, we've researched some places for you to go, and this is kind of your options. And I didn't really have a choice, and thank gosh they did that, because it was just bad, and it did get in the way of work, but at the same time, it's just like it didn't. What it mattered to me was the lifestyle, and I just got so. And it doesn't necessarily in Vegas I did, but it just in LA it was just like I wanted to, just that lifestyle, and it got away from like who I really was at my core, It's that city, LA, especially if you want that lifestyle, you can definitely have it, but it's just not. It wasn't just who I was, and so I'm so grateful and fortunate now. I mean, of course, I hated them at the time, like how dare you, but yeah, I ended up
like how dare you think I have a problem?
Yeah.
I don't have a problem.
I mean, I was missing family functions, like it was just I would rather stay out and party, or I was on a boat, instead of going to like my dad's Father's Day brunch, stuff like that. Just so selfish and self-centered, and standing my sister up if she flew in from San Francisco. And so it wasn't like who I was raised to be. It wasn't, and now like I live a life of integrity, and like, I have integrity, but it took years of like realizing like, you take a good look at yourself, and the program of recovery I chose was the 12 Steps in Alcoholics Anonymous, and I'm still active in a program, but back then it was like, you do the treatment thing, and my treatment center, and so I've relapsed, so I've been to treatment twice, and so the first treatment center I went to was very, very scary. I mean, it was state run, it was state, like, it was, I had a roommate that was a Crip and a roommate that was a Blood.
Okay.
And so it was a very, my family had the treatment centers, they wanted me to humble myself. And so I went to a very interesting place, but it was awesome. I mean, I'm still friends with the Crip. She's retired. They let her out.
She's no longer a Crip?
Yeah, she's no longer a Crip. But she's in recovery, and it's been, it's her, we're still sober. So it's really cool. Yeah.
So, and that happened there, and then you moved back here.
Yeah, I moved back here. Mm-hmm.
And then, so you moved back here, but you were working remotely.
We're working remotely. Yep. So I was working with a company out of Newport Beach, and wonderful company, and I was with them, and then I actually ended up getting laid off here. And so that's another reason why I started Front Porch Collective, and then I still like headhunt and recruit on my own now. So I have my own company, but that gave me the opportunity to branch out and do something creative, which I've always kind of wanted to do.
Yeah, so Sam had started this, and I work for a builder, obviously doing what I do also as a realtor. Like, I'm like, man, this that's like a no-brainer, like to have a business that does that. Like I personally don't have like an eye for that kind of stuff, and you know, I appreciate when it's done, but like I'm like, I don't know, like what do you put there? And so I think it's such a natural like relationship in terms of for a couple things. One, if you love your house, like you should make it look good. If you want to sell your house, you should add a little curb appeal. And so when I saw you were doing that, I was like, hold up, this is you don't see a lot of companies doing that.
Yeah.
You have inside designers. You don't have a lot of outside designers, you know.
Yeah,
and,
exterior.
And so what kind of prompted you? Have you enjoyed like that kind of stuff for a long time? Like, is it something you've wanted to do for a long time?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I saw a woman who was on a podcast, and I listened to a lot of podcasts, and she actually talked about how she did this in Dallas and how it took off, and she is kind of the person, and now a bunch of different markets and cities kind of do this, and it was pumpkin porch decorating, so I was considered a pumpkin porch concierge or whatever, and now my bread and butter growing up has been the holidays, Christmas, and that's just what my mom did in our house. We had an 18-foot tree, and then we had another 12-foot tree somewhere, and then we had like another 7-foot tree somewhere, so we had trees everywhere. And so it's kind of something that I've always done, like making the bows and the arrangements and tablescapes and all sorts of things. So and so that's kind of, and we've been extremely busy, and so the pumpkin thing, I think Des Moines is always an interesting market when things catch on, and I noticed that from being in LA and coming back to visit. I'm like, oh, this style hasn't caught on yet, but it will next year maybe. And so I think
it takes a little time to like move in.
Yeah, and so I'm excited. I think next year will be really big for the pumpkin business, and there's a few people that are also doing it here in town, my competitors. But yeah, the Christmas thing, it's beautiful, and I just love the lights and then the snow and everything. It's so beautiful to see it, and I love it when it snows. I'm still in awe of the snow because it's been so long. When it thunders and lightning, I hadn't had that in years because I was living in the desert and then LA, and we don't have thunder and lightning, And so,
I don't even think about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'll show you a few things. Should I just remove
the
mic?
Yeah.
All right. So, So this is things are really big. Bows are really big this year. So I love this. I think I'm going to use maybe this for I'm not sure if you'll like it, but I have plaid for your house too.
She's decorating our house.
Yeah, I'm going to decorate. So he has been so good to me and so supportive. And I wanted, just give him like something nice. But you guys already have a wreath, so I'm going to do an archway for him.
We love Christmas decorations. like it sounds like you and your family growing up was like you were what we would call like Christmas maximalist. Like when it comes to decorating.
Yeah.
Like my favorite, and put them more up here
I will.
too.
Yeah, I'm gonna get them ready.
One of the things that I love about this season is the decorations and I love it so much. In fact, I love it so much that sometimes on Christmas I get depressed because I'm like, oh, this stuff's got to come down.
I know.
Like it's not as magical. It's not as magical,
Yeah. So did you and your daughter decorated early, right? She decorated. Did you say one of your daughters decorated or she got all of her?
Oh yeah. Miley loves decorating, so she got her room decorated real early. So.
There's that. That's a little bit. Okay, so we've got this is kind of in style this winter, but it's garland. The garland, it's kind of like an evergreen and then this is like a baby mini wreath that we can kind of, and then what I'll do is I usually put like this, I might put something like a big bow like this and just keep it simple, and then I would wrap like twinkle lights all around, or I would do like a bunch of these like hanging, they're like they have like nice like red ribbon, and you kind of hang these and do like 3 of them across like your garage or something like that. And then I'll get some more.
Something that, Sam, when we were talking about doing our front porch, like she was texting, hey, would you guys like this or that? My wife's like, all of it? Like, but I think that's something, obviously, when you've got somebody designing your porch, like you want somebody that comes in and kind of has an eye for it, like, scoping it out, seeing, okay, what color greens do you want? 'Cause I don't know if it picks up super well. These are 2 different greens.
Different greens, yep.
But they're, and they do work well together.
Yeah, and so there's different. So this is kind of like what's trending. So you notice how it's not like your normal what you would see garland, like that green, like that's. So this is like really full, and then it's kind of wispy and like you can kind of,
It doesn't poke you.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't poke you. And then you just, what I do is I decorate a lot of it with something like this. So this is like a little garland that's, here I can just open this. It'll get sparkles everywhere. So just.
You got a vacuum.
But yeah, so then you kind of open something up like this. And we'll have to edit this a little bit if that's okay. But yeah, so we have just garland like this, and it kind of adds a little like little pizzazz. And then you kind of just like weave it into this, and then wrap it all the way around, and then you put some lights on it. It looks really good. And then you put it like a big bow.
And that's why you exist, because like I would look at that and be like, that's really cool, and then like try to find that somewhere.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist because you got to make it. Right?
Yeah, you do. And then you can go, so like I mean, this is going to not really put me out of business, but I mean, you could do it. I'd prefer you to go through me, but you can go to like Home Goods, or you can go, Lowe's has pre-made wreaths they're decent, yeah. But you can put, a lot of people will put like ornaments on that as well. So you can just like get like balls of like a 3 or 4 glass or shatterproof bulbs. And then I just use like fishing wire or something, and then I will put bulbs all the way around, or put them in certain spots. So I made a $600 wreath for a gentleman who wanted to give his daughter a really nice wreath for her new home in Altoona. And so I put all like ribbon like this all throughout, and then a big bow, and it took up like literally her whole door, but it was really cute, and she really liked it. And then like little ornaments. So he wanted to go with the traditional look, so we did red, and then he did some of the plaid and stuff like that. So it's going to get sparkles everywhere.
I think that's a really good thing though to talk about, because I think sometimes people might look at that and say like, well, I can do that. I can do that kind of wreath. Like, you can. Like, it's a lot of work. Like,
well, a lot of people, they pay for like their convenience too. So like some of our Glen Oaks homes and whatnot, they just like want it done for them. And then even some people want it stored. I don't do the storage, but
maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
It's just a lot to handle. But I will help them take it down and then kind of get all of their ornaments and everything organized. But yeah, so you would just weave something like this through. Yeah, and you just like, and then this is like something what I'll do at your place. So I'll kind of like put your garland above the archways, and then I'll kind of have something like this and just weave it through here. And then it will look kind of nice and shiny. And then you just kind of like, this isn't, like that. See? And then,
beautiful, yeah.
And you'll put like little ornament or ball, something like that. So, and then little sprinkle or twinkle lights, and it'll look really pretty.
Yeah, I think the thing too, kind of about what you do is it's not, like I said, it's not something that like, it's not necessarily cheap. I don't think it's crazy expensive myself, but like I don't think it's not cheap, because it's very much you create an experience, I think, with this stuff. Like you definitely create like something that pops, gets people and you enjoy it. So like I think that we should disclaim that like you could try to do this on your own, and it probably wouldn't cost you very much money, but you're definitely not, like, trust somebody that knows what she's doing, that has an eye for it. And that's why it's just, I'm not even going to mess around with any of this. Like if I'm going to, have somebody do this, I want someone that knows what she's doing. And
and what's super cool is I recently helped one of our friends, our mutual friend from high school, and she has a beautiful home, but she's an attorney, and her husband also works. He works in cybersecurity at Hy-Vee, and so they're both working professionals. They have a 2-year-old and I think a
newborn, right?
A newborn, yeah. And so both adorable little kids. They're adorable, but they don't have the time to do this. And she was like, loved it. This is what I love hearing is like, she was like, I haven't even been home yet, because she was on trial. And she's like, but my neighbor said that they saw our house, and they said it looks amazing. And she's like, I can't wait to get home and see it. And so like just hearing like that the person like loves driving up to their home every night, and then also obviously having like the neighbor's envy, or it's like that curb envy, which I love. I think it's
I think that, I mean it people may think this is a stretch, but like I think there's a lot to do, like a lot of mental health stuff that comes with this. Like like you feel good coming home. My grandma recently was in Denver for Thanksgiving, and we wanted to, it was my mom's idea, to decorate her house. And so we went over and we got there kind of late, my wife and I, we had stuff, but it was mostly done in wreaths and trees. My grandma she's got a big, beautiful house, loves Christmas. And she came home here. She thought she was coming home to like a drab, cold house, and it just like lit her, spirit on fire because she was so excited. So it does something to people to, like we always say, hey, if you want to sell your house, use us. But if you want to love your house, here's people that you should contact.
Yeah.
Obviously, Samantha's one of them with Front Porch. So you do. Obviously, we're in Christmas mode, which I guess is probably my favorite time of the year. You did pumpkins.
And Thanksgiving. I did some tablescapes for people's like their Thanksgiving dinner dining room table. Yeah. So and then like little entryway things. Yeah.
And then I imagine you'll do stuff in the spring. Yep. And then next fall it'll catch up.
Yeah. And then also one thing I wanted to tell you guys is I did add engagements. So if people are looking to, and then gender reveals too. So I'm doing like somebody's expecting a little baby girl, and I'm doing a big thing for them this spring because that's when she'll be born. And so it's not a gender reveal, but it's basically like right before. It's after their baby shower. It's just like a surprise to decorate the porch, like really pink, So yeah.
And again, like that's something maybe you don't need it, but like it creates definitely a memory.
It does, and like if you're having a party, you're hosting people over, it's definitely something like very memorable, and it's and something that you could do again, or you can hand it down to somebody that might can't necessarily afford it, but it would be a luxury item for them, and you could gift them with something too, So
they can't see us, but over here we have got all of our desks and stuff, and we got photographers and videographers over here, and they they capture those moments.
Yeah.
And people hold on to those moments. They hold on, like people hold on to those moments.
Yeah.
And so I think when you have when you go kind of above and beyond, I think it's really, really important. So you're back in Iowa, obviously, and plans to kind of go beyond it's just you right now.
It's just me right now. Yeah. And so if I do hire people, it's, I'll have a 1099 employee or whatnot. And so I'm hoping this fall that I'll be able to, maybe Iowa City, Cedar Rapids. That would be the next market. We'll see. I think that it's a possibility. And then also I was going to look into partnering with another woman who's doing it here in town, and see if her and I could partner, and then and see if we can kind of take on the city. So she handled mainly a lot of the south side with her business, and so I'm hoping that our partnership can come together.
I think what's really cool about you. I can relate to this. I don't know if it's cool. I don't know if it's like healthy. I don't know. Yeah. But you go work hard. You don't sleep. I don't think. And so I think that's really cool. When you want to start a business and you want to go all in, you have to go all in.
You do, yeah. And it's tiring. I remember I had a little bit of a break. And my dad actually got remarried. And so we went to Palm Springs for his wedding. And I just remember I was so exhausted because it was right after Halloween. So it was just like that week. I was just like so tired. I caught up on so much sleep, but I felt bad because I was just like, we're going to call it an early night, Yeah. But it is exhausting, but you got to just kind of go for it,
Yeah, I know you've also said sometimes like, hey, like I'm just getting back, it's like 10 o'clock, I just got back, like I'm, I'll get to this, and so I think if you're somebody that's looking for this, and even if you're not looking for this, but maybe you will now, I think that's something that you'll find that Samantha does is she no one will outwork her in this. And I've seen it, and she has such passion for it, like she touched on with what her mom did. I felt like this was such a natural person to have on here,
and the first woman, yay.
Yeah. To talk about this. I'm so glad you're back home.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you so much for being so kind. You were one of the first people that one of the first people that reached out to me and encouraged me, and I think that was just so kind. It just really did feel like a welcome home, to have somebody that I hadn't seen in years just stand by you and be on your side and champion for you. And so I think that's also, I'm here for anybody else too that needs it, especially women that are coming up or have an idea. I think just having that entrepreneurial spirit or just being able to provide resources too. And so
yeah, I think you find out real quick too, like who's really for you. Like when you start your own thing, like you find out real quick, like who's actually for you and who sees you as a threat. and it's been kind of an interesting in what I do.
Oh
like,
yeah, especially I mean, and then coming back to Iowa, people are. I'm just like, I thought we were friends,
Yeah.
like But I mean, it's
yeah,
been so many years, but yeah, you really do.
It's tough, but you learn. I mean, you learn a lot, and
You do.
and I think it refines you as a person.
It does. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you're home,
Mm-hmm.
and we have a snowy backdrop because it snowed, and it's going to snow again. But I think if you're looking for somebody to decorate your give you a front porch a little love, Samantha's who you need to call. Do you have packages?
I do, yeah. So the packages start at $195, and so I can do like a standard wreath for you, and then we do archways. So if a full exterior package can go from $195 to $795, and then there's different interiors and add-ons as well. So we'll do your staircase. So like another thing that, again, my mom taught me growing up, but something that I've done for years is just your staircase kind of going up. It had beautiful with garland, and then also just different archways in your house, or just your archway right when you walk in.
Yep.
We create one, and then any columns or anything like that, exterior and interior, and then tablescape. So decorating for like a cocktail hour or two, or just your dinner for a special evening.
Yeah, I think that along that line too. I think the breadth of what you can do. It's not. It doesn't all look exactly the same. I think that's where some designers get stuck. Is like this is all I know. So you have one or two options. I think that you have good range in terms of what you can put together.
Yeah, and there's different trends. Like what I'm kind of seeing for you is like it's so big this year, and it was a little big last year. But the traditional Ralph Lauren theme, or what have you, or then there's like your farmhouse style theme, and so there's different, or like a very colorful theme, and like a candy cane lane theme type of. So there's different varieties, and just you kind of what I like to see is just like show me some of your. Like your Pinterest, or even what is your classic style that you like to go by, and that gives me an idea of what colors I can use, and then we kind of just play on colors and play on what you're looking for, and just kind of go from there. So a person I did last week, they just wanted a traditional red, and so we found these big, beautiful like bulbs that we hung from her the ceiling on her inner front porch, and it looks really good. And we tied it in with big red bows, and then just a ton of lights. So lights always make things pop from the street, and it just looks so beautiful at night. And then big planters are kind of what I do. So a big planter, you'll just get like a outsized planter, and then I'll put like a lot of garland like this, and so I do some real and some fake. And that will kind of make your front porch pop and inviting, and it will last all winter too.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you've got such a range too of clientele. You've got Glen Oaks, which has obviously there's variety in there. You got Waterbury, those South of Grand type homes, the newer farmhouse style homes, and so it's cool to see kind of how. It's not a one size fits all type thing at all.
And I went to South of Grand earlier, and it wasn't. I was like, oh gosh, it's gonna be and it was just a nice classic house. It wasn't too big, and so it was just they just wanted a standard wreath. And so if people just want to come home to just something nice and fresh, and this one's gonna be a real wreath, but these look real, but the real ones smell really good. But I also do.
If people get too close to my house, if they want to see if it's real, like they need to get away from my house.
Yeah, right.
Like some. Like if that, no, you don't need to.
Yeah, don't come close.
You don't get that close.
Yeah, but yeah, this one. I mean, this is garland. This looks real. So yeah, it's nice.
Like I said, these are like 3 different greens too. Like so, it's kind of cool. Like,
yeah, it's so cool. Like having a guy like to look at this stuff. He's like, oh yeah, it's cool.
I enjoy decorations. I don't know how to do them.
Yeah.
Front Porch Collective, Samantha Cunningham. We are so excited to have you back in Des Moines. If you haven't seen her stuff, look it up. Front Porch Collective.
.online.
.online. So have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.